Elimination and win here tonight on Halloween. 9-5 in Atlanta. They fell behind 4-0 in the first, and they came roaring back to send this World Series back to Houston.
Keep going. Let's keep going.
Really amazing job by Dusty and his team. You couldn't ask for a worse start in an elimination game, and this place was electric. And they came back, and now they're going to give their fan base a chance to be as electric and as loud for a Game 6.
Graveman goes 2, no runs, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, and he slams the door and makes it a certainty that we will have Game 6 here on Fox on Tuesday night in Houston, Texas. Max Fried will get the ball for Atlanta. It remains to be seen who gets the ball for the Houston Astros. Hitting up and down this lineup, not one home run from Houston. A big night by Martin Maldonado with 3 RBIs. Correa had 2 RBIs in the number 3 spot. Bregman drove home the first run of the night for Houston with an RBI double out of the 7 hole. And Yuli Gurriel had 3 hits in the number 5 position. Scored twice and drove home a run with a ground out.
I'll tell you what, they're going back to American League style. I bet you they keep the lineup the same.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to have to insert 1 more in there. I don't believe whoever pitches will hit.
No.
Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Dusty, you got down 4-0 in the first inning on the Duval Grand Slam.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Well, I was trying to figure out a way how we could chip away and get back in that game, but mostly was trying to figure out how we could keep it at 4. And you know, at the time, we were just thinking about, when we had the runners out there, thinking about, you know, hitting for Framber, and then we got 1, and then boom, then we changed our minds, so it was 4-2. So just trying to figure out how we could get back in that game and stop them from running off on us.
Well, you got back in part because you changed the lineup. You moved Correa up to 3rd, Gurriel to 5th, dropped Alex to 7th. Obviously, it played out well. What did you see?
Well, that's what it looked like. I mean, Carlos swung the bat great. You know, we got a big double out of Breggy, and so I'm just glad that we get to go back to Houston, because that was our goal today. You know, take it back to Houston, and then just 1 game at a time now.
Now, Game 6. I know you haven't even gotten off the field yet, but what are you thinking about your starting pitching?
Well, probably Garcia, because you know, like we were trying to save Urquidy, but you know, we went to Urquidy because tried to get a couple innings out of him of no runs. You know, which you know, he threw the ball great, and so now we're going back home.
You're still alive.
Still alive.
Dusty, thank you.
All right.
All right, our thanks to Dusty for stopping by, and that's big news. So the young rookie right-hander will go on short rest in a Game 6 start, at least as Dusty makes his way off the field. But that's not set in stone, no doubt about that. But a little bit of a heads up with how the Astros are thinking going back to Texas. We will step aside, come back on the other side of the break. The Astros, what a night tonight for Houston. A 9-5 win in Game 5, and this World Series lives on. There's the final in Game 5 with Urquidy getting the victory with 1 inning out of the bullpen. A.J. Minter suffers the loss. 9-5 the final. Atlanta leads this series 3-2, but back to Houston we go for game number 6 on Tuesday night. Welcome back to the stadium. Welcome back to the broadcast booth. I'm Joe Buck. That's the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. And we talked a couple of times about the night for Martin Maldonado. You just can't say enough for the job that this guy has done at the end of a long year. Nobody's caught more innings behind the plate since the beginning of last year than Martin. He hit a .172 during the regular season. Wasn't hitting in the postseason, but had a really, really big night when the Astros needed it most.
It really did. You know, we don't see a lot of bunts, and we're not going to see a lot of strategy of other than hitters are going to just hit. You know what he did? He changed things up, and that was a big out that scored a run because he had 2 strikes on him, pitcher on deck. But this right here, he changed his stance. He went up there with a plan. He executed. He got a big RBI with the walk, and then he checked in with a base hit. And you talk about a guy who's been struggling. His night behind the plate is the most important thing. They got bonus with him at the plate and with the bat.
And so now in this World Series, and we're in a different time, you know, you don't know pitching-wise what's coming for the Houston Astros. We heard Dusty Baker said they're probably leaning toward the kid Garcia pitching on short rest in game number 6. At least for Atlanta, they have 2 starters lined up if they need to, and that's Max Fried and Ian Anderson.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a prototypical way to go about it. But I'm telling you right now, offensively, the story's going to be who executes early that changes the game plan for the managers and empties the bullpen. So execution early is going to be huge, especially for the Astros if they want to continue this and push it to a Game 7.
All right, well, tonight, exactly what the Houston Astros needed on Halloween as they get the victory 9-5. They stave off elimination, and they got what they wanted. World Series headed back to Texas. Here's Kevin Burkhardt.
Joe, thanks. World Series, Astros alive, right? Instead of a celebration behind us, Houston, they're in the party heading back to Texas. Big Hurt, Hall of Famer Frank Thomas, Big Papi, David Ortiz, A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez this year. Think about this. Last 5 years, we know about the Astros, 5 straight ALCSs for them. They're 8-3 in elimination games, Alex. They are a tough out when their backs are against the wall.
They are champions, and they've been winning for a long time. They're addicted to winning. And the one thing, the Braves did not put them away. A couple errors, and they showed up like champions and showed up in a big way.
If I am in the Braves team organization, I should be a little concerned because those guys back in Houston, they are troublemaker. You can let this guy get their mojo back, Frank. When they get their mojo back and they hit like they did tonight, look out.
I think the biggest thing Dusty did was change that lineup. You know, he's put his 6 most dangerous hitters that are going right now. Not saying Brickman's not a dangerous hitter. I know he's a dangerous hitter. But right now, he doesn't have it going. Dusty lined up the 6 guys who've been really swinging in October, and they were dangerous tonight. They came out and scored 9 runs after they had nothing going on for the first 2 games. So you're right. They're a dangerous team. They're going home. It's going to be a very uncomfortable 2 days. The Braves need to get it done on Game 6. If they go to Game 7, anything can happen, and this is going to be a crazy one.
Bregman and Correa stepped up again in a big way today. They needed to. Alvarez, 0 for 5, has been sleepwalking the entire World Series. A little error, mistake, mental mistake in the outfield. Don't let him get up and wake up and join the party here in Game 6.
Just remember, Adam Duvall hit a grand slam in the first inning. Yes. It was 4-0. This place was just on fire. And we're like, whoa, the party's going to get started. And then the air was taken out. The Astros just, you gave them a little bit of life. They came alive, and now we have a series. We go back to Houston. Still Atlanta 3-2 in control, but, you know, the Astros have been here before. You knew they would be a tough out, and so they are. A lot more to do on the postgame show. Carlos Correa will join us here on the desk. The Astros victorious, and the World Series rolls on. We're going to flip on over to FS1 right now, so change the channel with us, and we'll see you there.